trapping for myself and my family. There's no way that this is real, man, it can't be.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Modify Your Life podcast, where I'm your host, Anthony Lopez, also known as Heavy to Modified. And here on Modify Your Life podcast, we talk about modifying your life mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially. And today, we got our co-host. No, I was kidding. No, we don't got Modified Frankie today. We couldn't afford her, so we had to give my boy Pete. My boy Pete is a little cheaper than her. You know what I mean? He flew out from Texas just to be out here. Absolutely. You know what I mean? He could last minute shot. He hopped on his PJ. You know what I mean? And he got over here. He's like, "Yo, man, I'm a little busy, but I'll get there and I'll share my story with you. I'll bless you on the mic."
Absolutely, I had to come out here. Bless Heavy to Modified. The term wellness, Heavy to Modified collaboration.
Let's go. I like it, man. How first off, how was the flight? When's the last time you've been to Vegas?
Man, I was in Vegas not too long ago. I came out here and did a 5K, the rock and roll 5K while I was freezing. And
you said it was 40 degrees.
It was 40 degrees and raining. I did it. I was happy I did it, but
40 degrees and rain equals sleep for me.
Yeah, no, it didn't.
That seems cold.
It ended up sick for me, but yeah, sleep too.
I think we know why you got sick. I think you shared a little bit of why you got sick. Welcome to Vegas. We were actually discussing right now. He's like, because we're texting. Obviously, we've had this plan for a while now. And we were texting, and he's like, "Yeah, man, he's like, I don't know how to really say this, but I'm not really a big drinker." So he told me on the phone. I was like, "Oh, perfect, bro. I don't drink a lot because I get body dysmorphia, so that's good for me." But now he landed in Vegas. He's like, "Well, I actually can drink, but I just don't do it a lot. But I mean, I go with the flow." And I was like, "Oh man,
that is not what I said."
All right. Well, that's how I took it.
Okay. Well, what I said was, I was like, "No, drinking has been making me sick, so I've been chilling on it." But I told him, I was like, "Man, we go somewhere." I was like, "Hey, it's gonna be, hey, things happen. When in Vegas, things happen.
When in Vegas, what they say, when in Rome, do as the Romans do."
Exactly.
That's what I'm talking about. Before we've been talking all day, and we have to remember this is the first time some people who have met you. It's your first time on my podcast. So why don't you tell them about who are you?
So my name is Pate, aka Mr. 245. Determined Wellness. I am a natural, going on 5-year weight loss transformation, 2-time transformation champ. Everything in between. It's pretty much who I am.
Let's go. Weight loss. More than weight loss, though, now. You got to experience life now that you've lost. How much was 300?
300. And so since, the weight loss and everything, we've just been focusing on putting on muscle, growing the brand, those things of that nature. Me and you talk a lot about, muscle growth and things of that nature. So one thing I'll tell you is like, man, I wish I would have lifted more weights when I was losing weight. But, we're here now, so we're trying to put on that size, lift the muscle, eat.
Yeah. The first thing you did when we landed was eat.
Yeah,
we wasted no time.
None.
Bro, we had like 30 rolls. Not 30 rolls. We had like 30 pieces of sushi.
Yeah,
but it's like different now because before you would have landed, if we would have known each other at our heaviest, we would have went straight to like the Las Vegas buffet.
Yeah.
Now we're eating sushi, right? You know what I mean? Stuff like that with Diet Coke, Coke Zero.
Yeah.
Shout out to them for having Coke Zero. Yeah. For those who don't drink Coke Zero and still drink Diet Coke, even though Coke Zero's out, I judge you. I judge you big time, right? Diet Coke is disgusting, right? I taste the chemicals in that.
Facts.
Coke Zero, they hide the chemicals great for me.
It's premium.
It's premium diet drink. According to 90% of the influencers, it's going to kill you one day.
Yeah, no.
Well, I'm gonna die happy. I'm gonna die happy.
Exactly.
I'm gonna die with Diet Coke Zero.
That's why they got people like us that tell the truth.
Yeah, no.
According to everybody else, all this stuff will kill us. And
my biggest thing is I love seeing this content of people talking about diet stuff and this and that and preservatives, but then you look on their stories from the last 24 hours, they're out drinking alcohol.
Exactly.
The number one study poison.
Exactly.
But yet they're trying to tell you to you know what I mean?
Or about Monster. Like, no. It's like, come on now.
Oh man, they'll talk. Man, people will find anything to complain about. We could turn that into a whole damn podcast. But like, Pete, you said Pete. Pate. So I've been calling you Pete the whole time. Why would you correct me?
I did.
You didn't correct me. You just
okay.
I heard it now.
Well, maybe,
I said Pete. Pate.
Yeah.
Where is that? Pete.
P-A-T.
Oh, it's P. See, I'm dyslexic.
Bruh. Oh, okay.
I'm
You
dyslexic.
right.
I
You
mix
right.
the-
You
I
right.
mix-
You
see?
right. You right.
You know what I mean?
I let it go.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
You
let it go.
make fun of me. You're making fun of a
I
lot
was
of people. I was
finna to.
you about to. I seen
boy,
it. You came for my neck for a second. I was like, hey, careful. Cancer culture is real.
Very.
Pate comes on Heavily Modified podcast and makes fun of all dyslexic people. That's
No,
not a good look for the brand, buddy.
Now all of a sudden you never hear from me again.
No, man. The fact that you can talk crap on each other, that's how you know you're cool with each other, right?
Yeah.
I talk crap on everyone I'm really close with, man. It's just it's actually easier for me to be a smart ass than it is for me to say something serious.
Yeah, very
That's my
true.
first thought process. You know what I mean? This is how I work, right? But Pate.
Yes.
I just had to say it twice.
Okay.
I'll keep saying the wrong one. You know, you got before getting to your weight loss journey. You know, what was your heaviest and like kind of describe that version of yourself.
Gotcha. So my heaviest was about 480, documented, because we had already started working out a little bit before I weighed myself. So my highest recorded weight was 480. I think I was a little bit heavier than that, but who knows? So 480, still living life, man, being happy and just going through life and doing what every 21, 23, 24-year-old do. For the most part, you know what I'm saying? So that version of me was a lot similar to you. Like I had the nice truck with the music in it and the TVs and different stuff like that.
My man watched my podcast. I appreciate you.
Well, I'm just saying, but it's facts though.
Yeah,
you can go
Clifford.
Yeah.
Clifford, that's what they called her. Clifford.
Okay.
I actually drove a Ford.
Did you?
Yeah, back when I made bad decisions.
Slug. Okay. I see. I got you. Okay. I got you. But yeah, so that version of me, man, it was very different in a lot of different ways. A lot of it's still the same. Still the same easygoing guy. Still easy to talk to, all that stuff like that. Just a lot more healed and a lot more clear-minded. And I can talk about anything now.
I love that, man. So I'm very curious to get your input on this because you said I was living my life just, happy. Mm-hmm. Would you still consider that old version of yourself happy now that you put in the work to be where you're at today? Or do you look at that as you were happy as on you knew what happy was at that moment?
Happy was at that moment,
okay.
But I would definitely say I was coping. Yeah, I would definitely use the C word. I was definitely coping because, and at that time of my life, I thought I was doing what every 23-year-old person does. But I had gotten shot when I was 17. And so before then, I was playing sports from 7th grade on up. So in me getting shot, of course, I had to stop playing sports. So, of course, kept the diet, but wasn't able to play sports anymore. So then rolled right into 21-year-old me. And so the eating habits came with the drinking habits, and away we went.
Were you overweight before you got shot, or did the obesity start after?
So I was a little heavy. I was probably about 200 and close to about 230, 240. Not that bad.
Just on the thick side.
You're on the little thicker
big bone.
side. Yeah, exactly.
All right, big bone. That's everyone's little big bone.
Exactly. Yeah,
right.
we'll call it big bone.
And then, so after getting shot, I assume there was a lot of healing from that, as in actual healing.
Yes.
So probably not a lot of movement. Sports were gone, like you had said.
Yeah.
And then, so food was your coping mechanism from the situation, or was it from just a whole bunch of different traumas kind of piled on?
Just a whole bunch of different troubles that I didn't really know about piled on. Was what it ended up being in the end, because my mom tried to get me to go to therapy back then. I wouldn't go. I went to one visit and I was like, this isn't for me. I was like, I don't need this. This is dumb. But look, grew up and had to do it anyway. But now I love therapy.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I'm all for therapy. We talk to each other, and I'm a life coach because I like to focus on the person moving on, and how I kind of look at the therapy is it's good. I think other people should be able to talk about their feelings and talk about things that they haven't let go yet. But I also know that in the society we live in right now, that we like to talk about the feelings, but we don't like to take action on changing our future moving forward.
Yes.
And we kind of like sit there instead of, like, a lot of people's coping mechanism is talking about it, but not creating the action to fix it.
Exactly.
Right. And now you can't really fix the situation that happened when you were 12 years old or 17 years old, but you could change your mindset of how you look at it moving forward and what you do moving forward and how better you make yourself feel by doing the right thing,
Absolutely.
And literally, like, what you did. But before we get into what you now and your mindset now, what was your mindset as you were gaining weight? You know what I mean? Because you went from chubby, right? We'll call it chubby, big bone, and then you probably started tapping into like the obese, morbidly obese, right? Before you started working yourself. So like, what was your mindset as you were gaining weight and piling on food or piling on pounds?
Absolutely. You know, was the crazy thing about it, I honestly thought I was just living life and being happy. That's what I thought at that time. Like my mindset was, man, I'm finna go to work, do what I need to do, but then I'm gonna go hang out, have a good time, live life, just be happy.
Live on the weekends.
Yeah,
live for the weekends. I mean,
live for the weekends, live for the weeknights sometimes. You know, it just, that's what it was. It wasn't anything crazy. A person walking around with unresolved issues, I would say.
do you feel like you were making bad decisions eating? You're making possibly bad decisions, and I don't know the situation of you getting shot, but I'm assuming you weren't around the right people or right situation.
Well, actually, the situation with me getting shot, man, I was literally a high school kid going to a high school party. And yeah, I was minding my business, doing what every normal high school, person
just at a
does.
party,
Yeah,
house
at
party.
a party, and they came through and shot it up.
So you weren't even hanging around the wrong people. You were just doing that's. Do you know what's crazy about that? So back when I graduated in 09. So I'm gonna say it was either 08 or 09, one of those years. I was a DJ. We were talking about that a little bit earlier, right? And I went out there. At the time, I was smoking cigarettes. So I went outside. My buddy Charlie. At the time, we're not friends no more. But my buddy Charlie took over the turntables. I went outside to go smoke a cigarette and just get out for a second. It was freaking hot. It was a backyard, but there was like way too many people in this damn place. And I go out there and I'm smoking a cigarette, right? And I go and I put the cigarette. I flick the cigarette out. I'm on the side of the house where the only way to get in and get out. And I hear like an argument. And then I flick the cigarette. I kind of peek over, and I hear like 5 or 6 shots. Pow, 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 pow. Like, and I bolt, because I'm terrified. Like, I didn't grow up around that stuff. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and act like tough guy. Like, I mean, a gun is a gun.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And so find out, cops came. The guy they killed him. He died literally right. I seen him right. I seen everything happen. I seen the car take off and everything like that. And then yeah, that was absolutely insane. That was a house party like that. Like freaked me out because that night the cops came and there's a body there now. So now everyone is a suspect technically. Absolutely. Right. And so we stayed there. We just got to stay there for like 3 or 4 hours. I think like 3 hours. Cops were talking to each one, taking photos of everyone leaving the party, asking if they seen anything. They were talking to me. I told them what I had seen, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? And like that was absolutely, it was a pretty mind-blowing situation. I remember texting my mom, telling her like, that made me feel weird. The guy who just had a kid, the kid was like a month and a half old. It was his house.
Oh wow.
So he was his house. And that was a very surreal moment for me. And even though I wasn't a part of it, I was just way too close for comfort.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was you know what I mean? Like I seen the person out there 1 second, now he's gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's absolutely insane. I don't think I've ever been with anyone that's gotten shot by literally just being at a house party. I've seen something happen. I didn't know the guy.
Yeah.
And rest in peace to him, but that was insane.
And the crazy thing is I was in my truck and he was right in front of me. Like he was literally probably 15, 20 yards in front of me. And you can see him standing there and all I'm seeing is the flashing of the gun.
And he was just shooting towards you, or was it the party?
He was shooting towards everybody in that direction because it was me. I was like this, and there was another car. He was like this, and there was people everywhere, and he just standing in the middle of the road because there was one way in and one way out, and he was sitting in the middle.
Was he like part of the party? Was he someone that lived there, was tired of the party going on?
Come to find out, man, he was a girl that was going to the party at the time. That was her boyfriend. A way older guy, didn't have no business being at a high school party. But she was dating him, and I don't know. I don't even remember if she was there or not. Well, I guess she had to have been there. But that's what it ended up being. He knew about the party from her, and he just came through, him and his buddies, and one thing led to another. I guess somebody made him mad, and he just started shooting.
What happened to the times where you just fought?
Man.
You know what I mean? Someone made me mad, I'm fighting you.
I'm telling you. He ended up getting caught, though. He jumped back in the car and took off, but the car broke down like 2 blocks away. And they caught him.
Damn.
That night.
Good.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's still in jail.
Maybe so. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, I figure once that situation was done, you're like, I'm trying to leave that behind.
Yeah.
And so, thanks for sharing that story.
Of course.
That's absolutely insane. And so now we're healing from that. Obviously, you have your traumas. And then now we start gaining weight. When did you start noticing it was a problem? Because I know this wasn't your first time you tried to lose weight this time around.
No, it was definitely not my first time. I had tried to lose weight a couple times. Now I could say wrong environment for that because in the times of me trying to lose weight the first time, I would try to go to the gym and different things like that, or plan to go to the gym, but then people hit me up, hey, let's go do this, go that, go do this, go do that, and I would, go do the this or that.
You go hop on the yeah, exactly. And like a lot of people,
Exactly.
right? They like, oh yeah, I'm gonna start today. I'm gonna eat clean today. Hey, you want to go in and out? Yep.
Exactly.
Like they don't. It's like you're just waiting for that person to ask you. Like,
Man, I'm telling you.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so wrong environment. Obviously, probably at this time of your life, lack of discipline, lack of accountability towards it.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So how many times you trip and fall till you get it together?
Probably 3. I want to say it took me 3 times.
Good for you.
3 times, and then on that last time when it really locked in, when I was in that warehouse and working with my dad, doing what we do, and stepped on that pallet scale and realized how much I had gained. Because the last time I had weighed myself before then, I was like 3 something. I was shocked at the 3 something, but I knew I put on some weight. I just knew I probably should start doing something about it.
Yeah.
I just didn't. And so that next time when I stepped on that pallet scale and seen that 400 plus pounds, I was like, it shocked me because I was like, when, how, where?
Where do we go from here?
Yeah, and I'm like, and the thing I don't think most people notice, the thing about being that big is you don't you're a bigger person, but you don't see yourself as being that big.
We talked about that. We talked about that earlier. Where we're waiting for sushi to open.
Yeah.
We got there 20 minutes before they open.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how big I was. Like to me, it's like how I like to explain it is like I look at like like they say like the humane way to boil a crab is to put it in regular water, and then you or not a crab, a lobster. You're supposed to put it in like regular water, and then you raise the temperature like every 2 to like 5 minutes until it doesn't, and it keeps adapting with the temperature. And by the time it gets too hot, it already dies. Like it doesn't even know that it's dying because it just keeps adapting with the temperature. Gotcha. And that's how you're supposed to kill it inhumane, I guess, or boil it, cook it inhumane. Well, that's how I look at my weight gain. Is like I got in lukewarm water, I got in regular water, and every couple months, every couple years, just a little bit bigger, a little bit more bigger pant size, a bigger shirt size. This was harder for me to do. And next thing you know, by the time I realized, how big I was, it was like at the end, it was my rock bottom, except for I didn't die. You know what I mean? But I was close to it. Right. You know what I mean? And like that, it's just insane that when we were talking about that, it's like really the same because like I didn't look in the mirror every single day and be like, oh, I got fatter.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But I was definitely reminded every single day that I was overweight. Did you remind yourself every day you're overweight?
Not really, man, to be honest.
I did, man. I had reminders every single day that I was overweight. Like whether it be like tying my shoe or when my friends would go to amusement parks.
Okay.
Or water parks. If water parks, like I would never go. And then I don't know if I know for sure I was too big for a water park, but I didn't know what the size was. So I just stopped going like very early on, like junior high.
Gotcha.
Because I just didn't know like if I was gonna get stuck. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if I'm pretty sure there's a weight limit in a water park or a water slide, but I just didn't want to risk it. You know what I mean? So like I was constantly reminded like every day that I was overweight. Like or even going back to like in elementary school, I knew I had a weight problem or something was wrong with me. And this was me. I was 4th, 5th grade. It's because like I could never do any I could never skateboard. Right. Or skate or do any tricks like that because like I was overweight, I wasn't chubby, I was a fat baby, I was a fat boy. You know what I mean? I was a little thick, 4 or 5 Ks. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I never could do any tricks. Like I never I had soaps. I sucked at that because balance was bad. Right. You know what I mean? Hillies, I got them down a little bit, but I wasn't zooming off like everyone else. That was a lot of weight on the hill. You know what I mean? So it's like I was constantly reminded, like I feel like every day that I was like overweight at one point at that point in my life. You
know what's crazy? Now that you mention all that stuff, I never tried any of it.
And
see, maybe then I just didn't try it because I already knew.
Subconsciously, you knew. Like it's like that white chair.
Yeah.
Like that plastic chair that everyone, you know what I'm talking about.
Dude, let me tell you something.
Did you break one of those?
What?
You did?
What?
So I've never broken anything.
Really? Dude. The plastic lawn chairs, let me tell you something.
First off, they're made to fail.
Oh.
I've seen skinny people break them.
Man, listen, I bust so many. It's been so many backyard barbecues.
You didn't learn your lesson after the first 2 or 3?
No.
Bro, so This is a weird flex to have. All right, but those listening right now that are, are 250 plusers.
Yeah.
Right. This is a flex that I do have because I was 2, 3, 4, 5, and 600. I've never broken any chair because I've always there's two things I would do.
Okay.
Right. If it was like a chair that it was a little iffy,
You gotta do the shake
right?
test.
You got to do you
I knew it.
sit down, but you put all your weight on your heels,
Right.
And you kind of push yourself up, and then you lean over the table and you hold yourself up a little bit, so you're only putting like 40% of that weight on that chair.
Oh, okay.
All right, that's tip number one. All
Okay,
right,
okay,
that's
okay.
that's
So you
one.
had a science to
I had
it.
a science to it.
Okay.
All right, or number two, I just got a new chair. I was like I found the table that has like there's always like I couldn't be lucky my whole entire life, but like usually go places, restaurants, stuff like that. Your restaurants will have like one set of like wooden chairs, and then maybe they'll see a couple metal chairs. I always look for the table with the metal chair, or I ask them to
Okay.
switch for it.
See.
At one point in my life though, I got to the point where they would just give me the metal chair before I sat down because they probably didn't want me to break their stuff.
Oh,
But I've never broke a chair. And remember this one incident? I'll never forget this. You ready for this?
I'm ready for it.
There was this girl in high school.
Oh boy.
She was also overweight.
Okay.
And she would call me fat every day. Every single day. She would definitely let me know I'm fat. Like all the time. And she just hated me. She hated me, which is crazy. She follows me on social media and she like tells me how proud she is now. But I think she
course.
forgets when she hated me. But she also was big. Like she was probably like about 50 to 80 pounds lighter than me. Right? And she was shorter than me. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. So yeah.
Lord Farquaad hide over here, big dog. That's me right now, right? And I'll never forget this. She would always, make fun of me. And one time, she always told me like, oh yeah, like she went to the same elementary school with me and junior high and high school. This is high school now. Junior high, she was telling everyone how I broke a chair. I never broke a chair. Scouts honor. Never been in Scouts, but I'll say it. Scouts honor. One time we were in this class called Read 180. Right, because your boy could not read at all. Still can't read. All right. Even in high school, I was a bad reader.
All right.
And it's a computer class, and it's basically for people that don't know how to read that good. It's just a nice way to call in people that don't know how to read that good. It's a class called Read 180.
Gotcha.
And so she was leaning over to get something. She dropped her barbecue sauce from Jack in the Box. All right, I'm not. This is not fake. This is why you gonna laugh. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? I'm not joking. It was either barbecue sauce or ranch. It was something from Jack in the Box. It was in the morning because I had my first class in my first period, so it was probably something to do with breakfast. It was breakfast something. She dropped it, and she went to reach down, and she freaking snapped the computer chair in half. Like the pole was the plastic thing that keep from the wheels to the chair. Freaking just bent it over and just heard you like a pop. Like I remember it was a pop.
Yeah.
It was a pop.
Yeah.
Fell over, crumpled, fell onto the sauce, smashed the sauce everywhere, bro. And I looked at her while she's on the ground. This was my time to shine. I looked at her, sauce shot everywhere.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
man.
I
Yeah.
look at her, I was like, I may be fatter than you, but I've never broken a chair.
That was
I
why
got sent
was
outside
laughing.
and I started laughing.
That's why I was like-
yeah, I'll never forget that.
In my mind-
Hopefully she's not, if she listens to my podcast, then she knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
That's interesting. Right? And like I said, it's a weird flex to have, but I pride myself on never breaking a chair.
That's why I was laughing because in my mind the scene was already set.
Bro,
And
that
it's-
sauce shot across the roof. You ever like step on like ketchup and it just shoots everywhere?
Yeah.
Bro, it was the plastic like barbecue. I want to say barbecue sauce or ranch. First off, I'm gonna say barbecue sauce because that makes it look weird for eating barbecue sauce in the morning. So I'm gonna say that. It's just gonna make the story even better. And that shit just boom shot up against the wall everywhere. Chair's broken. She's she's on the floor face down. And I walk up to her and I kick her while she's down. Bro, she called me fat every day.
Hey, it's fair game. It's fair game.
Bro, I would be eating in class and she would be making fun of me. And she literally would. She always. Okay, you know what? I have trauma I need to let go because apparently I remember way too much about this. All right, maybe I need therapy also. But bro, she would always walk in with red fingers, hot Cheeto fingers.
Oh, hot Cheeto fingers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. She always hate me. Maybe she had a crush on me.
Maybe.
Maybe she had a crush on me. She
Yeah,
can't
man.
have me now. I'm out of her league.
Facts.
Yeah, man. But yeah, I just never broke. So
Nah,
what? Okay, like how many
Dude,
times you break a chair, big dog?
Man, listen, I had a vendetta apparently against those outside plastic patio chairs. So in the summertime in Texas, we barbecuing. That's the thing. That's the thing to do. So, you go back there, whatever, sit down. So my trick I would take the chair and I would at least put it against the wall. So if it did do anything, at least you
got a second to
I got
pop up.
exactly.
Let me get the 1-2 up real quick.
But when I started getting bigger, the problem was I had, it wouldn't buckle back, what would actually break is
It's
the
the feet.
actual side.
Yeah.
No, the actual side.
Oh,
where-
thick thighs save lives.
man, it's pow. I'm like, I was sitting down like, they were like, what was that? I don't know.
It sounds like a whip crack right now. Like he's
I
I,
would always-
don't know.
I would
Like the
always-
chair is not just breaking in front of everyone right now.
But I would always
you
replace them.
you would. So like, I got to the point where it's like when we started barbecues and stuff like that, where we were going to restaurants. You know what I mean? I had like the I got it from Big Five, some outdoor sport.
Okay.
Hold like 400 pounds chair. I was more than 400, but I had better chance on that chair than I did on the
Facts.
You know what I mean? So
Okay,
I would bring my
yeah.
own stuff with me when we were going out
okay.
beaches
See, you was
stuff like
well
that.
prepared, man.
Well, man, like
I was not prepared.
you gotta be prepared. Well, because like, look at you've already judged for being overweight.
True.
People are already looking at you as some type of lazy person. You smell, you're sloppy, whatever it is, right? And that's we're already judged off our first appearance. So 2 things you'll never see me do is breaking chairs and smell because
See?
that just I'm very is it vain?
No.
Or is it I don't know. I'm petty, I'm vain, I don't know, whatever it might be. I just wasn't gonna give anyone any more ammo to make fun of me.
That's true.
You know what I
But
mean?
I was just gonna say, like, I don't know how it worked for you, but for us ammo working against you, I was gonna make it cool to be big. Like I was gonna smell good, I was gonna
Yeah.
look good.
Yeah.
And stuff.
I had to paint that cool picture.
You know what
that's
I'm
why I had
saying?
the cool stuff.
Exactly.
I always said if I couldn't get the girl, then what I have will get the girl. My material stuff will get the girl.
Hey.
It works sometimes.
That's what I say.
It works sometimes.
I
You
was
know what I mean? It works sometimes.
Honestly speaking, hey.
I would, you know what I do have though. Yeah, well, you weren't that big in high school, so this might have maybe you do have a story like this, maybe you don't. All right, so this is high school. All right, I'm in the middle of this new girl comes to class.
Okay.
I'm not gonna give names. She was a Mexican girl, little chola. I had a thing for cholas. I still do.
Oh,
I love cholas.
Yeah,
Francie knows that too.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll leave you for a chola any day. I want to be scared if I'm gonna wake up or not. Right. That's all I want. I want to not know if I'm gonna wake up or not. Right.
Yeah.
And so I almost said her name. I remember her name. And so I was talking to her in class, and then you need a little note. This is before the texting type. Like it was it was more of like the note stuff.
Okay,
Right.
okay.
Texting was like my mom said you keep on texting, you're about to get a job.
Yeah.
You know, because we had to pay 10 cents per text or whatever.
Oh,
it was,
right,
you know
right,
what I mean?
right.
And so yeah, that whatever it might be, right? And so she sat literally right behind me, right? It's a new girl in class. Thought she was pretty. You know what I mean? I'm a football player. To me, I was, confident. I told you
gotta
confidence
have
was
it.
high.
You gotta
I
have
was walking
it.
around like Italian stallion, baby.
I'm telling you, you
Right?
gotta have it.
And so, but I had this one specific chair, and I sat in it for the semester because it wasn't bigger, but it was a little bit older to where it's like it wiggled a little bit more because it was the chairs that were connected. It was a seat, and then it was the desk, right? So I had to like get in there and like kind of push the stomach in and
Oh, yeah, gotta
scoot
do
in.
that, yeah.
But one time, I was trying to impress the girl. I forgot what it was, but like I was trying to do something funny. Like I popped up, right? But when I popped up and pushed
desk-
myself out, the desk came up with me.
Yep.
And like my desk went up on top, the feet of my desk went on her, smacked on the thing. So I'm sitting in the desk. So my ass is still in the seat while
Yeah.
regardless, she's dating me. She kissed me. We went out for a second. We went out for a
Okay.
while.
You still won.
Still won though.
Dang.
Well, that was bro.
That's what got
talking
her.
about embarrassed.
That's what got her. I'm telling you.
She like thick dudes.
That's what it was.
Bro, that shit came up and it like when I realized it, you know
was
what I
too
mean?
late. You was
Too late.
committed.
And I went to go put the chair back down. I've already scooted back. Fucking smashed into her fucking thing. Loud noise. Everyone that didn't see what happened now sees what happened. The desk ain't that big. The room's like, I mean, the room ain't that big. It's probably the biggest, this living room right here. And that was it, man.
Hey,
So I didn't break a chair, but I did bring one up with me. I all came up.
that's one thing I never did. I was always gonna do my little
The
slide
wiggle.
in
Yeah, I
and
got
do
it
my
fast. I
slide
got
out.
cocky.
Yeah, okay.
I got cocky. I don't know what it was. Like, I try. I don't know
you was
what-
looking
I
too
got-
good
I was
that
looking-
day.
I just got a haircut.
Nah, yeah, you was looking too. You had to go
okay,
show off at the pencil sharpener.
Whatever it might be. whatever it might be. And she
Yeah.
told me too one time because we started dating. She was like, I'm surprised you didn't know I didn't like you before. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, well, yeah, I used to go throw things away for no reason just so you could see me.
You know what's
Girls
crazy?
be doing the weirdest shit.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to know? 'Cause I'm just thinking you have a lot of trash to throw away.
Man, and they do the weirdest. I still feel like they do the weirdest thing now. I'm like, man, just tell me.
No, that's if I tell Francine, I'm like, bro, you have to let me know. I don't read minds.
At all, I'm terrible.
Francine wants me to look at her and be like, okay, she's hungry. She wants in and out. Okay, it's almost that time of the month. Okay, got it. Let's go. No, I can't do that.
Yeah, I'm terrible.
That would be.
That's why that must be why I'm single.
I had a. Man, oh my gosh. Maybe because you don't read minds yet. I had a girl smell my shoe, and that's how her sign that she liked me. I thought that was weird.
I was going to say that's kind of. I
That's
know
weird.
there's foot fetishes for sure, but Jesus.
No, like smell my shoe.
Yeah, no,
That was weird.
That's very.
That was a very interesting time.
Yeah,
I didn't get it. I didn't get the signs.
yeah.
You know what? Also, too, since we're just talking, we're just in it.
Yeah.
You know, something just came in my head just about the whole girl thing.
Mm-hmm.
If I knew what I knew now about girls in high school, bro, I would have the game beat. So when I started driving Uber, I started realizing that girls were no different than us. Yeah. Because I got to hear, so you know how the guys have the conversation. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, she liked me. I was about to kiss her. Yeah, I touched her butt. You know what I mean? Type of stuff. Girls have that same conversation.
Yes, they should.
I drove Uber for like two and a half, almost 3 years.
Okay.
And I heard these conversations.
Yeah.
Of like these girls speaking exactly like us. It's just that a girl.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, damn, imagine all those guys that should have kissed that girl and they were waiting. The girl was waiting and he didn't do it.
Yeah.
He was supposed to go for it.
A lot of times that be what it is.
Damn it, Justin, why don't you go for it?
You got to take that.
Lisa wanted you to kiss her.
Yeah.
So I was driving, just shutting up, listening. I'm like, if I had this knowledge in high school,
I'm telling you.
when the game was broken, like I would have been able to fix it. I was the man. I would have been the man. I don't know where that came from right now. I just thought I'll talk about that.
No, because
Welcome to my ADD.
I feel
Hello.
you. I feel you though, because a lot of times they be waiting on you, waiting on us, and sometimes we a lot of times for
scary.
me, I know I don't take the first step. That's not. I don't know what it is.
Look at Big Dog. When I was my heaviest, I had no choice but to take the first step. Like I wasn't number one. I wasn't number one draft pick.
Okay, I
You
feel
know what I
that.
mean?
Yeah.
I was like that last kid getting picked for a dodgeball.
Okay. Well,
Personality though, but even with good personality, when you're overweight, you got to work extra hard.
But see, that's the thing. I feel like that's what makes us dangerous now because you were bigger, so you got the personality, you got the charm, and now you get the body. Then it's like, oh man,
I'm not a force to be right. I tell Francine,
I'm telling you,
don't mess with me.
Hey,
girls are in my DMs asking if I'm single yet. I show her all the time. I'll post on my close friends. I'm like, Francine better get some act right. You better get some act right because they're in my DMs.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, are you single yet? I'm like, yeah. Do you know something I don't know? Ask her how much money you make. I'm telling Francine, I'm doing it for us. She's rich.
like I'm just showing a little leg. Don't be mad.
It's just showing a little leg.
Don't be bad.
Oh yeah, Francine already makes fun of my stringer. She calls it a chest thong.
Oh man.
She's like, "Were you wearing your chest thong today?" Bro, I wear that damn thing I wear it so damn much it ripped on the side. Still wear it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's the confidence. You know what I mean? The confidence in the weight loss journey. I mean, I'm pretty sure your confidence has went up.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Like, so I don't think I say I don't think my confidence had far to go, but because I was very confident even when I was a bigger guy. But now I think it's more than confidence now. It's like now I just know, if that makes sense. Like back then I had to be confident because I had to, you have to be confident to do this. You have to be confident. Now you just kind of know. It's like,
it's just you.
I'm just comfortable in who I am, if that makes sense.
Do you think it comes from all the work you've put in over the last couple of years?
Absolutely. Like I believe it comes from the choices made in life over the years. The fact that I've done the hard work on myself. I've done the hard work on my mental state. I've done the hard work in life to live a pretty good life. I mean, we're here on a Friday shooting a podcast. I mean,
in a coma.
In
a food coma.
Having a great
I'm
time.
about to eat again too. I'm actually hungry again.
Are you really?
Bro, I eat every 2 hours.
Man,
I'm like a baby.
I just use the restroom.
Eat, shit, sleep.
I feel you.
That's literally like lift weights. We don't got to announce that.
Yeah, but now I feel like that's kind of where it comes from, man. Like just the decisions I've made over life. Of course, my parents and all the other, what do you want to call that?
Role models, maybe.
There you go. Role models I've had in my life over the years. Just paying attention, making the right choices has got me to this point. I feel like.
Let's go, man. And also just like listening to you talk and sharing your story and stuff like that. It also sounds like too when you were making the worst decision is when you were probably felt the lowest about yourself.
Yeah, in a sense, like when I was making, when I was making those worst decisions, I'm not gonna say I felt down on myself. I just knew I had to work harder than everybody else, like you said. Like,
Okay.
yeah. If I wanted that girl, I knew I was gonna have to go all
Bro,
out.
it was.
I knew I was gonna have to go.
Bro,
all out.
I got homies that look at a girl and they start making out. Like I got to go 2-3 dates.
And then watch this. The funny thing about that is, I used to get crap like, no, you treat him too good. You treat him too good. You know, and all that stuff like
Get
that.
friend zoned.
Well,
I got friend zoned a couple times.
I got friends on one particular time
One?
that I'm not happy with. That sticks out.
Oh,
But
okay.
outside of that,
I told you earlier, but
but outside of
we all got dramas right
yeah,
now.
that's why I said outside of that one time, I never really just got friends on. I never really just got friends on from somebody that I actually wanted.
I got friend zoned.
Did
And
you?
it was in front of everybody. It was like we were talking for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's before Francine. She don't watch a podcast anyway, so I say what I
nobody
want.
worry about
I say I got Frank over. She don't watch it.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously, we just want to clarify. It was before Francine. I promise you, I had a life before Francine. I know everyone doesn't believe that, but I do. Yeah, so we were talking for a second, you know, calling, texting, hanging out on the weekend, stuff like that. And then we're with a group of our friends, and someone brought up, you know, guys are idiots, right? Guys will do anything to impress a girl, even if they got to throw your homie under the bus, right? Guys are dumb. If girls don't know, if girls are not aware of it, guys do dumb things for girls.
Yeah,
right. We are idiots.
We definitely.
And I'm calling my own staff out for that.
No,
right?
facts. We
It's just-
definitely will.
we just dumb. So he's like, "Oh, bro," or she's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna say her name, but I heard you and AJ are dating, right?" I've told him that we hung out a couple times, never brought up dating, but he said the word dating because he wanted to see if it was true. Because guys are dumb,
Right.
Guys are jerks,
Right.
So we do to each other, throw each other on the bus, right? Well, and high school,
Yeah, in
Now
high
we
school,
now
right.
we respect our friendships, right?
Right.
And she's like, "Oh, ew, no." She's like, "He's not even my type. We're just friends."
You know the
Damn.
crazy.
And the way she said it, we didn't even think about it. That's what bothers me. I'm mad again. I'm mad. That shit was like 15 years ago.
Got some
and I'm
unresolved
fucking
issues.
mad. Where's my therapist?
I hear
you know what I mean? But the way she said it, like she didn't even like take a breath and think and then say it came. It's just like he said it. And she's like, ew, no. Like didn't even. I was like, damn. We've been talking, hanging out. I wasn't, and then yeah. So I got friend zone in front of everybody right then and there.
You know the crazy thing about that though? I heard so many times he's not my type. He's not my like. I've heard that like somebody come telling me like, "Oh, she said you're not her type." Okay, I was her type in the end.
Nah, that's right. Well, now I'm a lot of people's type.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Now I like to look at myself as fairly becoming successful.
Exactly.
I get to help people for a living.
Facts.
We won't talk about materialistic stuff.
No, not at all.
Forget that.
Yeah, ain't nobody worried about
No,
that.
don't worry about that. That stuff will be gone tomorrow.
Yep.
But the decisions I made, now like you said, like now I have that sense of confidence.
There you go.
Like now, like since I've been putting the work and I actually, I'm not gonna say I actually love myself because I loved myself before, but I actually put in the work that proves I have love for myself. Let's say that.
Right.
I have that sense of confidence of like, and it's not like, when you're listening to this, it's not like the followers, right? It's not, don't take away the following and everything amazing I've got to do because of that. I'm talking about just Anthony Lopez. I have the confidence because of work I put in. Like when I look in the mirror, like even with all loose skin, I'm like, that's a good looking mother. And then you get a haircut,
I'm telling you.
gone.
Yeah.
I got a haircut yesterday. Frankie said I can't get a haircut. She's gone this week. And I was like, nah. Me and my godson got a haircut.
Oh yeah, you
I was
gotta
like,
get
nice
that
cut,
haircut.
G.
I got
He's
mine.
been walking around saying that all day. He's like, nice cut, G.
I got mine.
I know you go to Vegas. You had to get a haircut.
Yeah, I had got mine. I think it was like Thursday morning. But yeah, like you were saying, that confidence and that sense of peace and sense of, I think it really comes from, like you said, we help people try to achieve their goals. We help people try to do the things we did, and it does come with a sense of peace, a sense of gratitude, a sense of just being happy with oneself, because it's like, man, I was really able to help that person do this through what I went through.
Yeah, well, it feels so much better because you actually had to go through the fire, and then you get to help someone, right?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And like, there's no better feeling than that. First off, there's no better feeling than you changing your life around, whether it be with obesity or being addicted to drugs, whether it be addicted to alcohol, having a spending problem, like whatever it might be. When you free yourself from that thing that you like control yourself for X amount of time, you have like a newborn like self-confidence in you, right? And it's really something that's like, it's what everyone's searching for. Right? It's literally, if you look at it, it's that instant gratification that everyone's searching for, but you have to put in the work.
Have to.
right? Like everyone, I want everyone to feel like this, and everyone has opportunity to feel like this, but you have to put in the work first.
And the crazy thing to me is like, I don't know how it is for you, but on my end, I know I probably say a lot of things over and over and over again, but it's just because I'm so passionate about it. Like, isn't it crazy to you? Because I know it's crazy to me that all this started with one decision.
Yeah.
This literally started with one decision. Like, me being on this couch, or all the dope things I've got to do over the years, or all the dope things we'll get to do in the future, or whatever. It was literally because I decided to change my life.
Well, it's crazy how your life can change when you start making a change. Because think about it, you started your weight loss journey a little bit after mine,
Right.
so therefore my change started a little bit before yours,
Right.
correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
So if I didn't start that journey and you didn't start to work on yourself, and then you would have followed me, then we wouldn't know each other.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be sitting in the same couch with each other, and we both wouldn't be in our best. Well, becoming the better version of ourselves, constantly chasing the better version of ourselves, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't be on the podcast with me. You possibly wouldn't be at your goal. You wouldn't have done a bodybuilding show. But it all started with the single decision. It's like crazy how life works out and leads two people on the same path to, like, intertwine with each other by just making the right decisions. And like, it goes not only just with me and mine and your friendship, it goes with everyone that I've met. Like, how do I express this? When I was doing the wrong things, I met the wrong people.
Right.
Right? I met the people that drank all the time, that partied all the time, that ate all the time. They were also overweight. Now, if you look at it, the people in the circle I hang out with, now me and Francine built this, right? We weren't like this, we built it. Big John has always been healthy, but he's building a better version of himself. Yourself had built this better version of yourself or worked on yourself. But the people I've been connected with in the last couple of years, the new people I've met, they're not partiers and drinkers and smokers and indulge into everything and be in one of the world. Now, I'm not saying that we're perfect, right?
Right.
Because we literally started off talking about not drinking, and then we might be drinking, like whatever it might be. And I share that stuff because I don't hide anything, right?
Right.
But at the same time, it's like the people that I surround myself, you're not doing that every day, every weekend.
No.
I'm not doing it every day, every weekend. Like, yes, we're humans. We're going to have fun and we're going to be real about it. But the people that I was surrounding myself with before were fall in line with what I didn't want to be, but it was the things that I was doing. Right. So, like, always reminds me of, like, when I kind of put these pieces together, when I have these podcasts, I'm listening to myself talk as I'm speaking, obviously.
Right.
And it always just reminds me of what my grandma says, like, show me who you are, or show me who your friends are. I'll show you who you are.
Exactly.
Right. And I couldn't get those friends who wanted to become better when I wasn't becoming better.
Right.
But now that I've started becoming better and I worked on myself, I'm surrounded by people that are just working on winning, that are winning, are continuing to win. Even me talking to my clients, like, they're started. And like you just said right now, it all started with one decision.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Right? One decision, you haven't looked back. Have you failed before?
Absolutely.
Have you overate before?
Absolutely.
Have you put on some weight since you lost your weight?
Absolutely.
Have you got back on the horse and didn't let it go for a week or a month or a year?
Absolutely.
Exactly. You know what I mean? It's like it's not about being perfect. It's just about that starting, and then you're gonna trip and fall.
Yeah. And
right.
Staying consistent.
Staying consistent and understanding that when you trip and fall, it's not an excuse to stay down.
Yeah.
It's like pop right back up.
Yeah. And it's crazy. Like, to touch on something you said when you was like, I would have never followed you. And it's crazy. I've said it a couple times, but I'll say it again. He was the first account I ever followed when I started to lose weight. And the crazy thing about that was, like, when I was getting into my journey and stuff like that, of course, you lose friends, all that stuff like that, it happens. So now you kind of isolated. And so I'm on social media, I'm getting rid of a bunch, going through the pages, deleting all the stuff that you don't want to see. And so I'm looking for, weight loss transformations. And when I seen you, I'm like, oh, snap. I'm like, bro, doing this thing. I'm like, okay, cool. Follow him, because, it's positive and stuff like that. And one thing just kind of led to another. And here we are today.
Yeah, our first time we met was last year, summer shredding.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy too? You probably didn't notice it when you first followed me, because around that time you were talking about following me, my Instagram and my TikTok was heavy and modified. That was for my car YouTube stuff. I never changed it. I didn't change the name until about a year into it, but no one could really tell because it's just heavy end. Right. But I'm not saying they look alike, but it's just that one letter that changed, or the one word that changed in the middle. But it was actually heavy and modified, and then I changed heavy to modified. And that's been the whole journey of the brand.
Yeah.
The logo, the lifestyle.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And it's dope, and it's dope because you're sitting listening to two people that realize put in the work first, and things will start changing.
Yep, put in the work
because
first.
your mindset didn't change because you worked out and you lost weight for a couple of days. It happened over a couple of months, over a couple of years, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, What if you could compare the old version of yourself happiness to the new version of yourself happiness? Is there a comparison, or are they night and day?
No, night and day. Like I was happy then. Well, I thought that's what happiness was and stuff like that. Like going out, buying bottles, doing all this stuff, buying all this different stuff and stuff like that. And now it's just like I'm happy, content, sitting at home, just chilling, watching TV. Like whether I'm like I started doing stuff, different stuff. Like I'm building a home gym in my house right now. Different stuff like that. And I'm just content, man. And I'm happy just being content with where I am. And of course, never want to get too comfortable. Of course, you want to keep striving for better. And I'm definitely always striving for better, always striving for more. But the happiness is night and day.
Is you feel like there's just like you feel like you're at peace with like now when I say at peace, like we're always looking to grow. Like I get what you're saying. You said you're content, but I also get what you're saying. You're chasing the better version of yourself. A lot of how I talk to my clients too is like I always talk. When we start getting comfortable, we start getting lazy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
exactly.
So we're always chasing to be better. So I get what you're talking about when you're breaking that down, right? But like, do you feel like there's just like general peace in your life?
Man, I feel like there's general peace in my life, and I think honestly that just comes from me doing the hard work, not only in the physical form, in the mental form. I think that's really truly where it comes from, because if you ask me a question, there's nothing I can't talk about. There's nothing I can't be honest about. Even if it sucks, I mean, it's the truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that's just where it pretty much generally comes from.
Is the work you put in.
Yeah.
Right. And I asked that question. I knew the answer because when you start making the right decisions for you, right? Everyone's decisions, the right decisions look differently when it comes into like, life goals and who you want to be. And some people are okay. They want to be overweight. So they say, okay, do your thing, whatever. Right. But we knew we wanted more than that.
Right.
Right. So as we put in that work and we continue to keep on working on becoming the better version of ourselves, we start unlocking like new forms of happiness.
Right.
Right. And because something that me and you have in common is cars.
Yeah.
Right. And since your weight loss journey, like, and this goes to show that we're all the same. Right. Even though in the sense we're all the same. Now it could be your hobby or whatever, your crutch, your Band-Aid could not be a car.
Right.
But for us, it was cars.
Yep.
Because once I started my weight loss journey and once I broke out of my depression, I started working on myself, putting the work, I realized that that car wasn't me. Right. I just did it was like a Band-Aid. I wanted people not to know me as Fat AJ. I wanted them to know me as El Jefe or the guy with the loud Camaro, the fast Camaro, the big wing on the Camaro. And you have a similar story because you were talking in voice chat or voice memo, and you're like, bro, look at this, because you're watching that podcast. I think it talks about it. You send a picture of your car that's in the garage, like my car is in the garage. It's a race car. Yours is a race car, and you haven't drove it since you started working on your health.
Yeah, no, I really haven't really messed with it much at all. Like I built that car, and I've took it to the track a couple times, put the nitrous kit on it, did the motor swap, full build on it, different things like that. And since I have really focused in and honed in on me, it's in the garage. I haven't touched that thing in forever.
It looks clean though.
It
looks clean. Mine's dusty. I gotta get mine washed. It's in California right now. Yeah. But you know what I mean? It's just so crazy how we just share common things, and then with the self-confidence going up. It sounds like you had a little bit more confidence in yourself in high school, but I think it sounds like you say you're around 250. I was probably like around 400.
Right.
So my it was not comparing, not comparing, but just saying, for my self-confidence, I was like already in the morbidly obese area. Right. Let's be honest, junior high, high school, college, you know what I mean? The cool thing is not to date the fat kid. Yeah. As much as it hurts to hear that, it's just true. Yeah. Right. And I'm okay with that. And I had to be okay with that then. I mean, it hurt my feelings then, but now looking back, like it was my choice. You know what I mean? There came a certain part of my life where it was up to me to make that change. And if I chose not to change it, that's my fault. It doesn't matter that my mom didn't teach me nutrition. I was a young adult.
And that, to touch on that, a friend of mine, she tells me a lot of things, sometimes that's going on with her. And we had a talk recently because, in me going through my therapy and different things that I went through, I had to learn empathy because I didn't have it. Like it was not gonna say it was so bad, but it was to the point where like somebody could be talking to me and they could be literally crying, and I'm sitting there like, okay, well, this is how we're gonna fix it. We're gonna do this, and they're looking at me like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean?
Give me a chance to heal.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I had to learn that though, because one, that wasn't how I was raised, and two, it just wasn't in me at all. So now somebody come to me with something, I can say, okay, you want me to talk or you want me to listen? Okay, you want me to listen? Then I'll listen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she comes to me sometimes just for me to listen. And I was listening to her this last time. I'm like, okay, I'm listening to you and I feel for you, but I need you to understand, like, this is the 10th time you've told me about this. So at some point you're gonna have to do something about it. And I'm telling you this because I care about you, not because I don't want to hear it, but literally, because if you want me to listen, I'll listen. But
how many times are you gonna listen until there's actual change happening?
yeah, you got to do something about it. Like if I couldn't tell you I care about you as a friend or whatever if I just sat here and allowed you to keep telling me the same things and not be like, okay, so let's put a list together. What are you gonna do to fix this? What's step one?
Okay,
That's
a real friend.
Yeah.
That's a real conversation.
Yeah, that's
right. That's what we all hate to have, but we all need.
Yeah,
that's the type of those are my friends.
Yeah,
that's the only group I don't. If I'm messing up, they're calling me out.
Yeah,
if I'm tripping, they're calling me out.
And
if I'm being lazy, they're calling me out. Like that's like a real friendship, not your friends sitting here watch you crash and burn every single weekend, every single week, making bad decisions, not calling you out on it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's a great friend. And so I have compassion. I've always had compassion, but what I did work on myself without just listening to you talk and kind of, seeing like what my lack of compassion was. I did have compassion for people, but mine was more of constantly not taking things serious or being smart ass. Or being really defensive, like we're talking about earlier. I would always try to fight the world because growing up overweight, you always have to defend yourself. Right. There's always the guy who's, slapping the tit or, someone calling you fat or it's just like that. It's like, that's just what it is, what it is. It happened before me. It's going to happen after me. Right.
Yep.
So I always had to be on my defense. I always had to be the tough guy because the big guy had to be the tough guy. Now that wasn't really my character. That's not who I am. I never gangbang or try to act like that. But at the end of the day, I had to be the tough guy. I had to be the big guy. I had to be, the big football player dude. Like, what I mean? I had to own my obesity,
Right.
But that's not really who I wanted to be. I'm not like a violent person like that. But even though I say I'm not like that, I constantly live that life of always being the tough guy. You talk to me crazy, we're going to fight. Call me fat, we're going to fight. That I had to actually, now that's something I had to correct.
Gotcha.
I mean, now I had empathy, but I had to not be so on the defensive all the time because I've lived my life so defensive. Like people bring up my weight, I get really defensive. People, made fun of me, I got really defensive. I had to be funny. I had to make fun of them, and I couldn't call them fat because I'm fatter than them. So I had to find them hit it where it hurts. So like that's where I had to. So something that really helped me out with that was not only just the weight loss journey and becoming actually happy to understand that I can't fight the world, but being a coach. Being a personal trainer allowed me to listen to more people, and then getting back to people in the DMs and listen to their stories, and then it kind of obviously social media, I get hate comments every day, of course. So it allowed me not to imagine if I try to respond back to every hate comment, would never be able to do anything, right? So that's what it did help me though. Different things like that helped me of not really to be so defensive on everything.
Right.
That's something I was very sensitive towards. Is talking about my weight. I felt really uncomfortable when things about weight would come up. Or when people ask me if I wanted to sit in a table in a booth, even though I knew I needed to sit at a table because I couldn't fit in the booth, it made me feel real defensive, real upset. I remember my grandparents would bring up my weight. I'll get mad and kind of storm out. I didn't want to talk about it, so I was really defensive. I had empathy, but I was really defensive when it came to things that made me uncomfortable. But the things that made me uncomfortable were the things I knew I had to change.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So yeah, I had empathy, but I was very defensive when it comes to weight. Were you like, did your family ever talk to you about your weight or anything like that? Or was it...
My mom touched on, so my mom, she loved that woman to death, but she touched on it a little bit, and she did buy some of those little things like every now and then. Like she had got me this thing. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It was called like Senza. You were supposed to be able to sprinkle.
You spread on. Oh my gosh!
Sprinkle a little salt on your food. It's supposed to help you lose weight and different stuff like that.
I remember one time I was at In-N-Out. Olive Garden. And I lost like 100 pounds at this time. And then there was this girl there. She was probably around 500-600 pounds. She was in a wheelchair because she couldn't, because of her weight. I assume it was because of her weight because she was a very big lady. And she was putting all that stuff on there. And I was like, no, like.
I'm telling you.
But once again, we talked about earlier, who am I going to, I'm over here 550 pounds going to talk to this girl that's 50 pounds heavier than me.
Right.
About weight loss. And just because I lost some weight. Remember I talked about that. I don't bring it up unless I did it. Or doing it, not just because I lost 50 pounds. So I know exactly what you're talking about, that stuff.
So yeah, that was
what was that?
It was called Senza.
What was in it? Like what did they
I
wonder what they think was in it that was going to burn off fat without, because they said you could eat what you want
and just
bring it on there.
I have no idea. It must have been some type of fat burner. Had to be.
That's just caffeine.
Well, think about it though. You know, just like I know, when you first start losing weight, when like
I'll do
that
anything.
first little bit of water weight comes off quick.
Oh,
So
yeah. I
a
tell
little bit of
everyone's-
fat burn. You know, a normal human being that has bad eating habits take a little bit of fat burn, and they're gonna see results.
Oh yeah, for
So
sure.
it's not like
just
that-
to water weight though.
Exactly.
That's it. Then
It wouldn't,
yeah.
wouldn't have been long lasting results or whatnot. So yeah. So they she hit on that and stuff like that. But other than my mom, nobody really said anything family wise to me about my weight.
My grandpa made my uncle Dave a little bit as a kid, my grandma Tony and my grandpa, but not really as much as they should have. I know my grandma Tony tried to give me a nutritionist. I went one time. I was like, yeah, this is whack. But she's also told me, which falls into like the annoying part of some nutritionists, is that she was trying to give me vegetables and chicken with no seasoning. No, with salt and pepper. I am a 13-year-old kid. You want me to eat something with no seasoning? You know what I'm saying? So like,
Right.
And I get it. She was doing her job per se, but like that's not the way. That's how they sell weight loss. But weight loss doesn't have to look like that. So of course I was gonna push away from eating nasty ass dry chicken. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Of course I'm not gonna want that when there's McDonald's down the street. Like you know what I
Right.
mean? So I don't think they talked to me as much. I'll get really defensive, but there was definitely some conversations that was had with amongst my family. But my family was the same way. I don't know about your. Well, actually, I say the same way. But my grandma would take me like to Weight Watchers.
She tried
I
that.
think I did. We did Jenny Craig. I think was it Jenny Craig? I went somewhere with her. No, my doctor. My doctor had gave my mom this thing, and there's classes that Kaiser had like every 2 weeks or once every 2 weeks or something like that. And went there like one time. I was like, yeah, this is trash.
Yeah, she did weight. Well, she had the Weight Watchers. We tried Slim Fast.
Bro, I used to drink Slim Fast like they were.
I'm telling you.
Oh, I used to drink those with my meals. Those things were fire.
Them things are fire. They remind me of like the Labrada protein.
Oh, they're good, bro.
They're good.
They're meal replacements,
Yeah.
and I would drink them with my meal.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, no, oh
Right,
yeah, that's what I
right.
meant by that. Like, I drank them like they were like it was apple juice.
Okay.
Like I would be eating my breakfast, my eggs and bacon and potatoes, and I'll be drinking a Slim Fast with it because that stuff was like chocolate milk.
Right. Yeah.
No wonder why I was so. I blame my family now. And I'm just thinking. I was thinking, you know, because it sparked a memory in my head of me and my grandma's house, and she'd always have. They would buy like from like Sam's Club or Costco, wherever, the big old packs of Slim Fast, the chocolate ones. They had strawberry ones too.
Yeah.
they were all right, but they weren't the good as
There was
chocolate ones.
Chocolate, yeah.
And I remember I one time that we didn't have milk for some reason. My grandma used the rest of the milk because she made pancakes. So I went in there. I was like, oh, there's chocolate milk, Slim Fast. And I remember I would eat that, try my pancakes and chocolate and Slim Fast.
Yeah, my thing was back in them days, honey buns. Honey buns. I'm a sweet connoisseur.
Bro, I just had a honey bun like last week or when I was in New York.
Yeah.
Bro, that shit was 800 calories
Oh,
for
yeah.
everything. It was 700 for this. No, it was more than 800. No, it was more. 7, 8, 9. It was 1,000 calories because it was 700 for the Cinnabon or honey bun, and it was 300 for the strawberry Nestle Quick. I had to do it.
Yeah.
So I used to get 2 honey buns.
Oh God. Okay.
Chill,
yeah.
big dog. I don't need you to judge me.
no, I'm not judging you.
Oh,
I'm
I
just like,
felt judged. Hold on.
I'm not judging you. I'm not
That's
ju-
like
I'm
the
just
girl
like-
was like, ew, no, not my type.
no.
You was like, oh, no, just kidding.
I was like that. Well, no, because
Yeah, 2 of them easily.
yeah, that's what. No, I say that because like one of them things is it's a good amount.
They're not that big anymore.
Really?
No,
Oh,
man.
okay,
Times
maybe
ain't
that's
what
what
they
it
used
is.
to.
Okay, because
Remember,
I know.
they used to. Remember when Carl's Jr. chicken sandwich was like
Right.
as big as like
Yeah,
it was big.
yeah, it was.
Bro, have you seen a Carl's Jr. chicken
I
sandwich now?
haven't.
It's pathetic.
Really? We gonna have to go check it out. I'm gonna have to go check it out. But-
And we relapsed. been in Vegas for not even 6 hours, and it's already had 10,000 calories.
Hey man, look, I tell everybody when they say, what do you do for diet traveling? I'm like, well, if I'm on prep for a show or something like that, I bring my food with me. But when I'm not on prep, when I'm going out of town, I do my best.
I do my. I tell my just track it.
Yeah,
We
just track it.
We just track it.
Do my
Sushi. I
best.
knew exactly what sushi I was eating. I ate the same thing. That's why I was ready to order. When I sat down, bro, I was hungry.
Yeah.
I was getting hungry. I didn't eat all morning. It was a long morning because I had to take Frankie to the airport too this morning. Her and my godson. But yeah, the Cinnabons ain't that big anymore.
I know back home they have this place called Cinnaholic. So that's like cinnamon roll, Oreos, all that stuff. Now I can eat 2 of
Wait,
those.
cinnamon rolls.
Yes.
with Oreos on top, or Oreos on
So
top
it's
of
like
cinnamon roll.
it's like going to Baskin Robbins for
For
cinnamon
cinnamon.
rolls. So you can any
Bro,
topping.
where was places like this
Man,
when I was at my heaviest?
I don't know, but I know one thing. When they tell me I can have a cheat meal, oh, it's on.
What, like, you ever been to Afters?
I've never been after.
Say that again tomorrow on our next podcast we shoot.
Okay.
So Afters is a warm donut with ice cream in the middle.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So
Welcome
how
to
many
Vegas.
calories I got to burn on the Stairmaster?
Bro, if you wanted to burn the calories off of those bad boys, you should have walked here from your home.
Okay.
If you walked from home to here, you would actually be able to have one of them.
I got you.
That's one of those things where
Just eat.
I don't even want to know the calories.
Yeah.
Like,
Just have
it
it.
has to be over 1,000 because a scoop of, well, maybe around 1,000 because it's a donut, and then there's probably I would say roughly around 1,000 with like fucking 70 grams of carbs.
Probably.
Easily.
Probably,
It'd be a good pre-workout meal, honestly.
Absolutely.
With the sugar and the carbs.
Oh yeah.
I mean, my favorite pre-workout meal is Uncrustable.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Got my
okay.
carbs, got my sugars, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of them, not a whole bunch of them, just one of them. That's like one of my favorite, like on the go, like I got the gym in like an hour and a half. Let me just eat this. Let me, because then my veins start popping out.
True
It's
that.
a nice little pump. It gives you a
True
nice
that.
little pump. Now, don't go out there and we can't be 3, 4, 5, or 600 pounds and be using that as a pre-workout. All right,
No, no.
don't do that. All right,
This
just
is-
stick to your pre-workout meals. Don't listen to me. We're two ex-chubby guys,
Yeah.
reminiscing on some good eats.
This is a lot of practice right here.
There's a lot.
There's a lot of practice.
Someone said my man mastered the bulk. I said contact me if you need help.
I'm telling
Right.
you.
So I love having this guy. Oh, I'm excited for this weekend. All right.
It's gonna be.
We're gonna wrap this one up, but I want to know
What you want to know,
what's the fattest shit you've done,
man? The fattest thing. Me and my
other than
homeboy.
breaking chairs.
Me and my homie were talking about this the other day. So Pete, we were back in the day. We used to take a lot of family trips and stuff like that before the business grew, and now it's to the point where not all of us can be gone at the same time. So
Yeah, family business.
yeah,
Someone's got to stay back.
Somebody got to stay back. So, the one I can remember off the top of my head, we went down to San Antonio, and we were staying at the Riverwalk. It was summertime. We used to take these family trips. Well, my parents, we used to just go down there. We went down there so much when I was younger. I used to be like, tell my parents, I want to go to the other house, and they would know I was talking about San Antonio. That's how much we went. But at the Riverwalk, there's a restaurant called Tony Roma's.
Tony Ramos. I never been there.
Okay, Tony Roma's has the Roma burger. Okay, so I hadn't been there in a long time, and so me, one of my homies, we go down there with the family. It was like Labor Day or something like that. So we go downstairs. We getting something to eat, and we order the burger and fries. We take it back up to the room. We eat it. I'm sitting there and I'm just like, I'm tearing it up. And I didn't say anything. I'm looking at him and I'm like, I'm like, is it me or is this just really smacking right now? Man, we ate that, busted down. I looked at him. He looked at me. I'm like, I want another one. And we went back and got another one.
Bro, that was a daily task. I don't want to share my stuff now. Like,
Oh, man.
You just described a normal day for me.
Really?
Did you get 2 burgers? That's
dude,
it? That's the fattest thing you've done?
That's probably one of the, that's probably on the high. See, this is the thing.
Maybe there's a big separation from like 300 pound weight loss. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
maybe that's big. Maybe I was like I was like the last super villain before you beat the game or
Well,
something.
I actually, you know what? I never really just ate a lot. It was just what I ate. I love Mexican food. I love sweets. So anytime I was eating, it was what I wanted. So, cheese.
Oh, intuitive eating, huh? Oh, you're an intuitive eater. Oh, wow. Hey, how'd that go for you, buddy? Intuitive eater?
Didn't go very well.
Yeah, you just ate what your body wanted, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's called intuitive. We weren't fat. We were intuitive eaters.
Oh, okay.
We
that's
talked
what
about this
it
in the
is.
last podcast with Frankie.
Yeah.
Right? They're trying to come up with amazing names to mask laziness.
Yeah.
So, like,
So I identified as intuitive
Intuitive eat.
I got you.
yeah, I'm intuitive size. I know. I'm in 2 fucking sizes. That's what.
Right. Like this 5X didn't by itself. I got here these 58-inch waisted.
It's all 62.
What you?
62. That's the
58
second
was
time
my
you have felt
biggest.
disrespected when I tell you something about myself. Yes. You just say it way too much. Like, the way you respond to it, I just feel judged.
No,
But
I
I'll say
don't judge
I
you,
is he 60
man.
or 62? Yeah, man. They're 501s. I think they were 60 or 62 was the biggest
Gotcha.
size they went up to. I didn't go past that, but I mean, it was 60, bro.
Okay.
I was closer to 100.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
The-
But not no
there's
more.
two fat. No, 32.
That's right.
32. We might wear the same pants. honestly.
Absolutely.
I don't
I'm
know.
about a 32.
Yeah, 32.
34, somewhere in there.
Right now with the bulk though, 32, man. If I squat down low enough, a button's gonna shoot out and take someone's eye out. Honestly,
yeah.
But there's two things that come in my head about you just shared yours right now. I just honestly that doesn't mean like that's like a normal day for me.
Hey, you
Two
gotta-
burgers was normal. So like, there's two things that come to my head right now. So one incident. Well, let me just share one that's similar to yours.
Okay.
So I would go to Taco Bell, Mexican pizza all day. It's the only thing Taco Bell is good for is Mexican pizza.
Fire.
So regardless of what I would order, right, Mexican pizza was going to be it, right? But regardless of what I order, I always get food for the ride home, right? But my Mexican pizza order was the Mexican pizza, whatever the number was, soft tacos, extra cheese, extra sour cream, right? The drive home food. But I would get 2 Mexican pizzas, and when I get home, I would take 1 Mexican pizza and I was stacking on it.
Oh, okay.
And I cut it up and I eat. Like that was like my, I guess like my people are probably like, oh, I've done that before. Okay, maybe.
Yeah.
But here goes some fat boy shit.
Okay.
All right.
What
So
you got
one
for
time
me?
I was on a diet. All right. I was on a diet. I had a mental breakdown, right? Order pizza and I had a slice. I'm like, nah, fuck that. Like I need to stop. That's it. I'm starting my diet today. Throw the pizzas away. Take it out of the box. Throw them in the trash can. Right. And I go to the gym. Go to the gym and I'm on the treadmill for like 55 minutes an hour, whatever it is. Right. And I'm chilling. Then come back at home, shower up. I'm chilling, whatever, laying down, right. Thinking about food, hungry, but I'm on a diet.
Got you.
So like around 11 o'clock that night, I go into the trash can
Oh.
and I grab the pizza
Okay.
and I warmed them up
I got a
and I
question.
ate them.
But did somebody else come behind you and put more trash in?
There was
trash
there
can?
was definitely about a 4 or 5 hour difference between that. So
Ooh.
there was already trash in the trash can.
Gotcha.
I shook it off though. Like, that's some of the fat. That's one that just came to mind right now. That's definitely some fat boy shit.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to think. I don't know if I got nothing that can top that.
No, I mean, yeah. When you said yours, I was hoping like we would be like kind of matched.
Yeah.
But I think I took that's the one. There goes another good flex. I guess it's not a good flex. But yeah, that's some fat boy stuff.
I will. Okay. Well, I can say this. When I was younger, my my mom whooped me for going to a friend's house. Like we had went to eat before she dropped me off. And so she was like, don't go over there eating nothing else because you already ate. So
My mom would have been wasting her time telling me that. She knew damn well I was going. My mom would have sent me with money because she knew I was gonna want more food.
Okay, well,
Shout out to moms.
yeah,
Thanks for
shout
my
out to
obesity, mom.
Yeah.
just kidding.
But now she dropped me off over there and they asked me if I'm hungry. Of course I'm hungry. I'm always hungry.
Damn right.
So I ate again. I ate a few times. And so I go home. She's like, I told you not to be doing that. You had already ate and all that stuff like that. So I got a whooping for
Yeah, he got
eating too
spanked.
much.
Then I've been getting hit every day. I already got hit every single day. So I was like that type of kid who was very outspoken.
Ah.
So like my mom, when we would go somewhere, she would look at me. She's like, do I hit you now or do I hit you when we come back? And I was like, hit me now because you already know I'm going to say what I want.
So you've been smart
No,
about all your
I've been
life.
a smart ass my
Oh,
whole time.
man.
My grandma said he's not being a smart aleck. He's expressing himself. So now I still tell my mom to stay. I'm just expressing myself.
Oh, I'm going to use that excuse.
Yeah. No, I'm a smart ass.
I'ma
Hands
see.
down, I'm a smart ass. But yeah, no, my mom wouldn't even waste time. Like honestly, like I remember my grandma Tony was telling me a story. I was young. I was probably like around 6 or 7 years old. I was spending the night at her house, and she was making chicken wings, right? And she asked me, she's like, AJ, she's like, how many chicken wings you want? I was like 15. That's right. I'm like 6, 7 years old. So 15. She's like, hey Anthony, I'm not gonna make you 15 chicken wings. How many chicken wings you want? I said 15. I said again. And then I got upset. Called my mom. Told her she wasn't making me 15 chicken wings. I'm not sure. Actually, I can't remember if I got the chicken wings. I can't remember the rest of the story. But I wanted 15 wings. I like to eat.
Yeah.
But you know what it was? It's always cute when they're kids.
Right.
Right? It's like, oh,
Right.
look at him. He's eating a like 4 years old and my mom was getting me a normal sized McDonald's meal, not a kid's meal.
Oh.
I have a picture with me with a regular McDonald's meal. I was like, well, and that right there is where childhood obesity started.
Yep.
Right, but it's cute.
Or clean your plate.
They didn't have to ask me.
Oh. Yeah.
Bro, I like food. You see me eat today because you're like, yo, I'm done. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, facts.
I was like, wait, does that mean I have to stop ordering?
Nah, you ain't gotta stop.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. But no, I like to eat. You know what I mean? But it's just different now, just different mindset. It's very interesting having a conversation with someone that shares a lot of the similarities of just obesity,
Man.
right? And then, what is it now? What does life look like now? I think we surpassed that. I think we were supposed to go more into this talk, but I just somehow we just went on. But like,
hey man, that's what happens when it's good.
I'm still in a food coma.
A little bit.
Yeah,
we've been chilling.
We've been chilling. We're talking. But like, all right, cool. Let's do this. All right, because we have some. I think we could really sit back and listen to this and kind of take some certain topics and turn them into like. So actually, before I ask you this, because I always want to end with some motivation, right? Mm-hmm. I feel like there's a lot of knowledge learned, or if not, maybe there's too much knowledge, but there is definitely a lot of laughs in this bad boy.
Right, absolutely.
Right? So, before we get into this, maybe we can sit down and have a couple podcasts and everything. Not all of our podcasts need to be long. I'm actually in the middle for those that are listening still. Thank you so much for still listening to this conversation. Hopefully it's bringing value. For sure we made you laugh. If we made you laugh, you got to comment, right?
Absolutely.
But I'm going to be starting something soon because I'd like to do these solos, right? These sit downs, like the one-on-one straight to the point. So thinking about naming them heavy talks.
Absolutely.
Right? Because heavy to modified, heavy talks.
Right.
But they're really heavy talks as in like they're straight to the point telling you why you're not in the position you want to be. Mm-hmm. So I'm a big follower of Andy Frisella. Mm-hmm. And he has, Real Talk, Real AF and stuff like that. MSCEO. It's all one podcast, but he has different segments. And that's where I kind of got heavy talks. And we could, heavy talks doesn't have to be a solo, jam. It could be us sitting down and we just dive into, some mindset stuff.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But I'm very excited to see what the next couple podcasts look like with me and you, because I feel like we've touched a lot of different things, but we could really hone in on a couple topics that could really bring some value to people.
Absolutely, man.
But with that being said, why don't you send them off with some motivation, man?
Send them off with some motivation?
Motivation, inspiration, some good food ideas.
Well, I'll say this, man. One thing I tell a lot of people is if we can do it, you can do it. You're looking at two guys that made a choice, that just decided we wanted better for ourselves. It is working out. We're here today, chilling, having a good time, talking about food, being inspirational. Coaches, we both have brands now. We're both doing good things and all that stuff like that. So if we can do it, you can do it. Make the choice. Make the choice. Work on that hard thing. If it's mental state, seek the help you need. If it's coaching, reach out to either one of us.
True.
That's what I would say my motivational is.
You know what I'm going to say, everyone? Just make the goddamn right decision.
There you go.
Make the decision that you need to make.
That's right.
You know what I mean? 'Cause that's all we chose to do.
Yeah.
And we failed on the way. We've learned. We've gotten back up.
Yep.
We failed. We've learned. We've gotten back up. Right? It's not every single day has been perfect. We've had a lot of trials and tribulations go through it. But the one thing that separates us from people that have not made it yet is that we refuse to give up on ourselves again.
Yep.
Because we know exactly how it feels to give up on yourself, and that is the worst feeling in the world.
Absolutely. And then I think after you see it's possible, then it's like, okay, what else can I do? What else can I do?
Nothing you can do. Yeah, keep chasing it. It's like addiction.
Yeah.
Just transferred over food addiction into becoming better addiction. I think the becoming better addiction is way better.
Yep.
All of your stuff will be at the bottom. Instagram handle will be at the bottom. The link to it will be at the bottom. Check my boy out. His journey is amazing. Pate is journey, not Pete. It's Pate. Yeah, Pate's journey is amazing.
My boy couldn't even get my name right, man. You see how he is?
You know what, man? I'm dyslexic, man. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, you let me call your name wrong. It's messed up. But no, all of your information will be down below. Definitely excited to continue to keep having this different conversations throughout the weekend. And welcome to Vegas, big dog.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
All right, man. Good
All this
podcast,
happened for myself and my family. There's no way that this is real, man. It can't be.